You good after your 12-round battle today with LeSean? You good?
Yeah, come on, man. It's like, it's light work.
Oh, it's light work.
Ooh.
All right, talk your talk, Helman. Light work, huh?
Yeah. Look, I mean, we do 90 minutes every day. And I'm not bragging to y'all. Y'all do more radio than I do TV. But, it's like muscle memory. You hop in there, you battle it out for a little bit, and then you go home and call it a day. Nothing to get too stressed about.
Now, Dave, I know you know me well enough to know I would love to do 90 minutes of radio a day. That sounds fantastic. When it comes to non-shady coworkers, which one of those two, between Emmanuel Acho and Joy Taylor, do you disagree with more? More often, I should say.
Ooh, that's a good question. Honestly, I think Joy and I think we see sports through very different lenses, I guess. So honestly, her and I disagree a good bit. It's just like when we do, it's a little more civil than when Shady and I do. But yeah, and that's one thing I do love. I think I've talked to y'all before about kind of getting outside the Dallas bubble. I think I spent so much time around people that thought a certain way about things. It's been enlightening to kind of change locations and talk to people and meet people who see things completely differently. And it's been fun. Like I said, I think Joy and I have really different approaches and thoughts about how you look at sports, but our disagreements don't bring the fireworks as often as Shady and I do.
It's funny because when I listen and watch Dave, on Speak, because again, the greatest accomplishment of 2022 has been David Helman getting me to actually watch FS1 on a daily basis. Is the fact that what you are to Dak Prescott Joy seems to be for Tua Tagovailoa. Y'all go to bat for these quarterbacks in a way that I don't think most necessarily appreciate, given what you are trying to, get across to people when it comes to.
Well, what's funny? That's a great illustration, and there's more to it than that. There's more to it, but that's a great illustration of what I'm talking about. Is I come from paying super close attention to the Cowboys, and I know Dak's career like the back of my hand. And Joy is similar with the Dolphins, coming from Miami, following the Dolphins as closely as she has over the years. And I think we're both kind of she's like, damn, you really think Dak is like that? And I'm like, damn, you really think Tua's like that? It's a product of that's the surroundings that we've been in. That's the bubble that we've been in. We have a lot more context and information about those situations. And so, and I've I think I've grown to appreciate Tua a lot more, sitting next to her all season. Cause back at the beginning of the year, I was like, why are we talking about Tua? He really belongs in this conversation. And then he, turned out to have this amazing year and looks like he's going to be the face of the franchise for a long time to come. So yeah, it's been enlightening to get around people that aren't hyper focused on the Cowboys all the time.
Obviously, you're not actively in the Dallas Cowboys bubble space, but you're still attached to it in some ways, I imagine, through social media and otherwise. What kind of narrative that's kind of latched on recently do you take the most issue with of late?
The Dak Prescott conversation.
Sure.
Because everything else is, I would say, pretty fair. I always say on the show, I'm not some delusional Cowboys homer. I grew up hating the Cowboys, as I will tell anybody who will listen. So, I like to think that I come from a pretty objective place. But the rest of it's for all the other talking points are fair. The Cowboys' lack of playoff success is fair, and it's even fair to say that Dak is not having a memorable season by his standards. But it gets so twisted when you're saying people are it's funny because I got here right at the end of the Romo era, and it was all this stuff about Romo. And then he retires, and it's he can do no wrong. And now Dak is in the middle of it too, to the point where you've got people on social media and people on TV being like, "Oh, there goes Dak giving the game away at the end, like he always does." And I'm just looking around do you watch Cowboy football? Where does that idea that this is a trend or who he is comes from. Like, we do it on TV all the time where people will be like, well, Dak, that's just what he does. He throws picks. And then I'm like, no, actually, he's got the fourth best interception percentage of any active quarterback. Like Brady and Rodgers, and there's one more guy whose name escapes me right now. There's only 3 active quarterbacks who throw interceptions less often than Dak. That's what makes this whole thing so weird and frustrating. But all of that nuance gets lost the bigger the platform gets.
I think some people are shocked by the idea, David, that you actually hated the Cowboys growing up, because they are floored on the truckradio.com text line that you actually said that out loud and actually grew up hating the Dallas Cowboys. Who was your?
I grew up in New Orleans, Louisiana, when the Cowboys were everything and the Saints were nothing. And you know what's really annoying is growing up in a completely different state with its own team, and there's more Cowboy fans than Saints fans. It's the worst. It's absolutely terrible. And it was so sweet when the Saints got good and we took all the local markets back from the Cowboys, and we were like, no, like Shreveport's going to have the Saints game on. Monroe's going to have the Saints game on. Screw you guys. So,
shout out to Monroe. How about that? That's where my wife's from.
I always tell, shout out to the 318. That's why, you can't call me a homer, because I didn't grow up like that. I have no love in my heart from childhood for the Cowboys. I just call it like I see it.
David Helman of Fox Sports joining us right here on the Get Right with Reggie KG on 105 through the Fan.
Okay, I'm going to do the thing where I just don't talk about sports, which I think we both agree is the better way to do this. Dave, what's like the non-sports thought or take that's been, just sitting on your chest that you needed an outlet for?
Reg, I love doing y'all's show because of this, but I just wish you wouldn't put me on the spot. Like, I wish.
So now, hold on, David. If you being on this show, you know what time it is when you get on here.
Also, I apologize, but I don't think that far ahead to be able to let you know that's coming.
No, honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. All right, actually, okay. Here's the thing that's on my chest right now. It just happened to me. Like, I just turned 34. I'm a hip millennial dude. Like, I know how technology and everything works. I know how to Uber Eats dinner, and I know how all the apps work. I realize I sound so unhip saying that, but yes. My point is
all of the applications. Yes,
I'm a technologically savvy guy, right? But the one thing that I really haven't embraced is like grocery delivery, like using Instacart or Uber Eats or whatever to get your groceries delivered. It just it doesn't feel right to me. And so I bit the bullet. Like, I'm in a new part of LA. It's the holidays. There's traffic everywhere. I didn't feel like finding a grocery store and dealing with all of that. So I did grocery delivery, and it the guy came and I got my groceries, and I was like, man, this isn't so bad after all. And then I unloaded the groceries, and like half a dozen things were missing and a couple other things were the wrong thing. And I was like, no, I should have trusted my gut. Like, you should go get your own groceries. It's too much of a pain in the ass. And so now I got to go do my own grocery shopping tomorrow. And obviously this is all a huge first world problem. But when y'all called me, I was literally sitting here like, man, I knew I should have just gone grocery shopping on my own.
You know what, Helman? I'm not going to lie to you. I feel where you're coming from, because I sure ordered some DoorDash tonight, and I'm about sick of them, leaving items out of my order. Like, this is the third time. It's very hit or miss. Like, I'm never confident that I'm going to get what I actually asked for. Now, I don't know what this says about me and my, ordering DoorDash too much. But this is the third night in a row where I've had an item missing, like, from my particular order. So I don't know.
Third night in a row. Okay, they're paying you pretty well over there.
Relax, Helman. Relax. Your boy work a day job, so got to do what you got to do. But at the same time, it's like, come on, man, y'all read the screen. You know what's on this screen. Put it in the bag. What's so hard about that particular concept? Read order, see order, put what is on order in bag. I don't understand.
I agree. Look, I get it. We're
shout out to all the hardworking folks who do this.
Yeah, I was about to say, look, man.
Yeah, shout out
y'all
to the hardworking
sounding real. Can I talk to the manager right now?
Well, Hey, no way, because it does. I always give a 5-star review, no matter how.
I'm complaining though.
I'm not trying to narc on anybody. I'm just saying, like, next time I'm just going to go do my own grocery shopping, which is what I should have done to begin with.
Okay. All right. That's fair. Speaking of, are you the person who, no matter what you get at the restaurant, you are not sending it back or saying anything about it? You just going to eat it?
There's got to be something wrong with it to the point where I think I'll get sick for me to say, I'm not that guy. I will eat it. I've picked hair out of my food before and been like, that might be mine. Whatever.
No, wait a minute. Now hold on, David. That's taking it a tad too far. You have every right in that instance to send that back,
bro.
Send that back.
I like it takes like an act of God to get me to send something back at a restaurant. I worked in the service industry. I have so much respect for people that do it, especially like around this time of year. Like I said, like something terrible has to happen before I'm going to say anything to a server.
Wait, hold on. What was your first job, or what was your service industry job? Goodness.
My first job was just like as a gopher boy for like an office, but I worked in the kitchen at Pluckers in college.
Oh boy!
Okay.
Was it a busy? Well, I mean, most pluggers are busy pluggers. Like, how did that go,
bro? It was a summer job. I did it like during the summer semester to like make extra money and pay the light bill, and I was like a wing cook in the kitchen the summer that LSU beat Texas in the College World Series. So like, the College World Series is 2 weeks long, and LSU plays like every other day. So every other day for 2 weeks, we had a dinner rush like you wouldn't believe, where there's tickets coming in every 30 seconds from like 6 p.m. until 11 p.m. And I had stress dreams about the order printer going off for months. Like for probably 6 months after that, I was having stress dreams about it.